What is up, everybody? It's Joe from JLW Games coming at you with another cool video, and yes, it's that time. We're going to be showing you my method on coaster smoothing. Just a fair warning, I only show a few number of elements in this video, and I plan on releasing some more later on, as there are some elements I still haven't quite gotten right with my smoothing method. So pretty much this smoothing method is if you want to find a new smoothing method besides the 4-meter method that works relatively well and keeps your coaster smooth, but doesn't take you hours upon hours to do, because you're only going to have to go through and smooth 1 to 2 times, and you don't even have to smooth that much. So this method's going to show you my method, and as it's probably not the greatest method in the world, it is a very nice smoothing method for beginners and for those just looking to smooth out their coasters pretty quickly rather than taking hours upon hours to do the 4-meter method. So without that out of the way, today we're going to be showing you how to do a ZeroG Roll. We're going to be showing you how to do a dive loop and an Immelmann and some basic turns. So with that being said, if you're interested in seeing how to smooth those elements out, stay tuned, because we are going to be going into the game and showing you how to smooth them. So if you like this video, be sure to hit the like and make sure you subscribe for more amazing content like this. And if you guys want more, be sure to check out our Discord and join the Discord. We do a lot of coaster discussions and fun stuff there. All right, guys, with that out of the way, let's get straight into the video. All right, guys, here we are in our world, and we're going to be going to coasters. For this one, we are definitely going to be using the Vector. This is a great beginner smoothing coaster to use. Now, just kind of keep in mind, I am still kind of working on this method, but I have gotten tons of requests to see what my method is. So first off, we're going to raise the station a little bit, just like any coaster maker we would do, and then we're going to start off with a linear synchronous motor. We're not going to be creating like a full ride here or anything. We're just going to be creating some elements, and I'm going to show you exactly how I smooth out my elements, how I create my elements, and different things like that. So the first element we're going to be making today is going to be the classic, the ZeroG Roll. This is one of the biggest ones. You know, how do I create a nice custom ZeroG Roll? I mean, you could go in and use the endgame one. The endgame one isn't half bad, it isn't great, but as you can see, there's no heart line. It's gross, and we're going to be creating something similar, but hopefully with a little bit of heart lining. So first, before we get started, we're going to crank our banking offset about 5 or 6. I'm going to set mine all the way up to 6 to try and get the maximum banking as I can. And for this purpose, we are going to keep angle snap on. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to set this to 39 feet. Again, this will vary depending exactly about how, it will vary depending on how big your ZeroG Roll is. So I'll just tell you about how many increments are going in. So with this, I'm going to click this one down. The next piece, we're going to go down by 2 pieces. So go shrinking it by 2. I'm going to rotate this to 90. See, you want to probably keep angle snap on. You don't have to, but I recommend it if you want to make a kind of very symmetrical ZeroG Roll. So we're going to, at the top piece here that goes completely 180, we're going to flip it to 0 degrees. We're still in the same length here, so make sure you're in the same length. And with the current glitch, it's going to flip it over for us, which is actually okay in this situation. We're going to flip it down to the same amount here. Flip it down to 100 degrees there, and we're gonna go, and so again, it was right here, we want to flip it to 30 degrees, we're gonna start leveling it out. Now we're gonna go back to 39 feet, so for the bottom piece is gonna be a little bit longer than the top. I actually messed that up, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay, so go back here, go back to 0. Don't change that, and now we're going back. That one, so scratch that. You don't change that. You change the bottom piece back down to this. So you just make sure it's symmetrical. Make sure whatever you did on this side, you do on this side. There we go. Now I got it right. So now comes the smoothing. So as you can see, we're definitely, you want to overdo it on the overbanking because you want to try and keep that heart line. You want to have that visual of a heart line. So as well, this method for the most part keeps the heart line. It's not still perfect, but the point is to have a smooth ride. So what we're going to do is we're going to click and smooth once, go back to the other side. Again, this smoothing method works on the way I do it. I do different smoothing methods on each different element. I'm going to go back and forth twice. So just click once, smooth all twice. Then we're going to smooth the top once. And then you can kind of mess around with the smoothing if you'd like to. Let's go ahead and start our test to see how that looks visually. Just from smoothing that little bit out, you can see we want that fast flip at the top. I'm going to slow this launch down just a little bit so it doesn't just fly through it. And we can even ride it here. And you can see it's fairly smooth. Fairly smooth. There's just a little bit of whip to it. So we're going to go down here. And you want it to flip over pretty quick. I'm going to go ahead and smooth this bottom piece here. Now this is a very... the hard part to keep this is you want... You can do this if you want. If you want a little bit extra smoothness, or if you wanted to flip back faster. If you click smooth here once on the bottom pieces, that's not a bad thing. It's going to smooth those pieces out just a little bit, so the transition is a little bit better. And as you can see, that is actually pretty darn good. If we go on ride, like I said, the smoothing method is very inconsistent, so you're not going to get it very consistent, but you can see how much of a heart line we still have with this roll. And it's fairly smooth. It's just a little... The only thing that you might say is not smooth is it's a little whippy. So we're going to go back in and do one more session. You do these two sides twice, once. Hit them once. Do that twice. And then you're going to hit the top once. And then let's ride it again. This is after smoothing it twice. Let's see how it turned out. Still have a pretty decent heart line looking. And booyah, that's pretty darn good. So there is your ZeroG Roll. You can smooth it out as much as you want. Just do it the same way each time, but just be aware, the more you smooth, the more you're gonna lose the heart line. So if you do want to do a lot of smoothing, you might even recommend trying 7 feet banking offset all the way up, because you're gonna want to try and keep that heart line. As you can see, it's still there. There is heart lining within this element. It's not perfect, but it's still there, and the on-ride cam is actually still pretty decent. So that is our ZeroG Roll. It's a very basic element, and it works very, very well. So I don't know how many elements I'm going to show you on this, but that's your ZeroG Roll. The next one is one that's actually very simple and pretty easy. It's going to be a dive loop. Dive loops are actually very simple. This and Immelmann's and Sidewinders are actually really easy. So what we're gonna do, depending on how big you want it, let's go 45 for this one. We're feeling a little daring. And this, you can use the angle snap or turn it off. I prefer to turn it off, so I'm gonna actually turn it off for myself here. And you can actually shape the dive loop out the way you want, because let's just say your end game loop just isn't getting the angle you want. With a custom dive loop, you can actually angle it whichever way you want. So we're gonna rotate it here. You might even use some smaller pieces. And then you're gonna gradually twist it here. Like I said, you can kind of do whatever. You don't want to fully go 180 until you're about ready to angle it down. So let's do this here. So right here we're, oh, if you ever want to get exactly 180, just click the angle snap on. It will help you get there. And then you just kind of want to angle this out as best as you can. The biggest difficulty with this is just trying to make it to where it's not going to go underground. You just got to kind of mess with it. That's why if you want to use angle snap, that is perfectly okay. I'll probably just show you how to use the angle snap version as well. Or if you want to go underground with this, you know, that works as well. So you just go through here. This one's very simple. You're just going to click smooth on each side. Do not do the top until the last part. Click smooth, 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 and then we'll do the top last. Gotta speed up this launch first. Got a bigger element here. So, and you can even hit it a couple times here. And again, you always want to make it a little bit bigger than what your intentions are, because the smooth tool is going to go and make it a little smaller. Every single time. It really is. You can even go without smoothing the top if you want to. This is a little bit awkward on the, but you can see how it still has that heart line. It still goes over. And this is a beautifully smooth element. And you just shape it up the way you want it if you want to do it without the angle snap. Now, if you do it with angle snap, it's even more simple. You just do this. You're going to go over to the right however far you want to go. I usually go about 90 degrees here. And then you're going to go to 0. Flip it up to, 180. Like I said, flip it wherever you want. And then on the very next piece, this is all the same length piece to do. You're going to go directly 90 degrees and then the same right there. And then you have a very easy custom. And then you're going to smooth it the exact same way. If you want to be precise, and again, don't do the top. Do not do the top until the last one. And again, this is why I kind of prefer. You can even do the, and then maybe like at the end, you can instead use angle snap or turn angle snap off and kind of shape it up yourself. It's really kind of up to you. Again, this is just smoothing methods, so it's not how you place your track. You can place your track however. I'm just telling you how I do mine. And then if you want to like make it go down like that, that works pretty well too. Smooth out these pieces. Smooth out these. And again, the smoothing out the top is optional, but it's never a bad idea. You just got to be careful because sometimes it will destroy the shaping that you're going for. And with this, you can angle this exactly where you want your dive loop to end up. So it works very, very well. And this is the result. And that is a smooth dive loop. Now, we're going to be doing the opposite and creating an Immelmann or Sidewinder. This is actually very simple as well. You're going to start off, pretty much build the exact same thing backwards. So we're going to go, let's go 39 for this one, just because why not? We're going to go 90 for an Immelmann. If you want to go, you can continue to go straight here. About the time you're getting to your 90 degrees up here, completely upside down, you can twist it to wherever you want it. And then this is the point where you're going to want to start. I do recommend turning angle snap off for this, though. This is where you're going to start rotating it a little bit. And then for Immelmann or so, you're going to start angling it down just kind of wherever you want it. Keep that there as the most rotated as you can. And then until you get to about 90 degrees. And you can make this go all the way down if you want. Or lower, it doesn't really matter. It's gonna be however, like if you wanted to go all the way down, I'd recommend going a little bit steeper. with this. And you can kind of go like, do something like this. Just kind of where, you just shape it the way you want. That's the thing. You can do whatever you want. We're going to click smooth here. Again, don't do the top. It's going to be the same rules here. Don't do the top just yet. Go through and smooth each section a couple times. And then do the top. Again, I recommend not using the angle snap for this one, but you can do whatever if you want to. For beginners, I definitely recommend doing the angle snap, but you don't have to. And you can see just how smooth that kind of flows through. The only thing is, this is why I wouldn't use angle snap. I would want to kind of round this out just a little bit better, but it's up to you. But overall, it rides very, very well. See? Nice and smooth. And again, go through as many times as you want. I mean, this isn't a bad shape, but I would want mine to be a little bit more round at the outside. But overall, that is your Immelmann / Sidewinder. If you want to do a Sidewinder, you're just going to want to flip it all the way around. Alright guys, now I'm going to be showing you how to do a basic turn. These are pretty simple. Keep your angle snap on again only if you want to. And we're going to flip this to about 45 degrees. And I still have 6 feet banking offset. First piece we're not going to turn, we're just going to rotate it. And I'm going to do a 45 degree turn here and just do a 180. There we go. And then on the final piece, we're just going to rotate it back to 0. This is a 90 degree turn, as you can see right there. So pretty much all you have to do for these, smooth out where the turn starts. And that's about it. You can go in here and smooth the turn out, but since it's at a very accurate angle and it hasn't changed an angle, it's going to be just fine. It's going to actually be, and you can see the heart line on it. It's really, really good on turns. So as we can see here, very, very nice and smooth too. You can go in and smooth it maybe one more time at most, just to get the ultimate smoothing on it. But I don't recommend to smooth it too much. That way you can keep that heart line. It's still really good there. And it looks pretty good off-ride too, as you can tell. So that's a regular turn. You can also do like a helix if you wanted to. So if we wanted to, we can do the same thing, maybe head up a little bit. Let's go 10 degrees here. And then we can do, if you want to do very precise, we can do like 45 degrees still, or just keep the same turn here, right here. And then at the top piece, we can go back to 0, flip it to 0, and go back to 0. And that's how you can do a very basic maneuver turn, a very smooth turn. Do the same thing. Go down here and smooth the section where the turn starts a few times. Just like that, and then you have like an upwards turn. Again, you can make it as steep as you want with it. So and that creates nice smooth turns. You can do it upwards and downwards. Just do the same method. It's a very easy way to create nice, smooth, and heartline turns. As you can see, it continues the heartline. You might even make this just a little bit longer so the heartline's not too drastic or too short in a sense. So that's actually one very nice thing. But alright guys, that's about all I have for you today. As of what I have smooth right now, this method isn't completely complete, so as of some of the elements that I do have ready, I'm still working on how to create a continuous roll with this method, as it has kind of failed, and I don't have a really good method yet on how to create a roll at the moment. So that's going to have to wait for later until I figure that out. I will definitely create a separate video on how to create a really nice continuous roll. In the meantime, what I would say for your rolls is actually just to use the 4-meter method. Might be your best bet at this point for now. But that's all I got for that. Because, again, I'm still working on a method on how to smooth out a roll with this smoothing method. Those are just a couple of elements that you can use on all your different rides. Again, ZeroG rolls, dive loops, dive loops, Immelmann sidewinders, and, you know, turns, upwards and downwards turns. Very, very simple on some of those to smooth out. So I hope you found this video useful to help with your smoothing, and go out there and create your own smoothing method even. You know, you just got to go in and experiment. This is what I found works for me when I don't want to use the 4-meter method, and it actually turns out fairly smooth. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. If you have any good or better methods, please let me know down in the comment section below. This is, again, just kind of a part 1 of my smoothing method. I will hopefully have some more coming out later. Again, I hope you find this a little bit useful to create some, you know, more decent kind of smoothing to your builds, yet still having a decent heart line to some of your rides. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a great day and an even cooler tomorrow, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks, and goodbye.